Although laying up the gel coat and fiberglass on jobs like this is obviously the most interesting part of the job visually, because I've shown you that many times before, I thought this time instead I would focus more on sharing with you some of the things that I've learned that make doing this job of hand layup a bit easier. One of the easiest ways to take pressure off yourself when you're about to fiberglass a job of this size is to pre-cut your cloth. That way you save time. You're going to have little gaps in it that you'll need to fill in, but you'll have it basically cut out to the shape of the job. On nearly all the race car work I do, I use 2 layers of 450 chop strand mat and 1 layer of light and fairly fragile 225 gram chop strand mat. And what I do is I start by cutting the thickest cloth first, and then I use that as a pattern to cut the subsequent layers the same thickness and the thinner stuff. And then I stack them up so that the thicker stuff is on the bottom, the lighter stuff is on the top. In other words, they're stacked in the order that I'm going to need them when I'm coming to lay up, because you don't want to be sorting through a whole pile of pre-cut pieces of cloth trying to work out which one comes next. You want to stack them in the order that you'll need to use them. I use clamps like this to hold the cloth in a couple of places so it doesn't move around while I'm cutting it. When it comes to making fiberglass moulds of car parts, it's a widely held belief that you've got to use tooling gel coat, particularly amongst commercial fiberglasses. There's nothing wrong with tooling gel coat, except it's terribly expensive. Tooling gel coat is a much tougher, harder, longer wearing gel coat than ordinary average run-of-the-mill gel coat. But it is designed for moulds that are going to produce a commercial amount of goods out of the mould. So with tooling gel coat, you could produce 25 to 200 moulds, copies out of the same mould, and the gel coat won't deteriorate. But think about it. How many copies are you likely to make out of a mould that you make for custom parts for your race car? One to go in the car, maybe a second set if you're unlucky enough to have a prang, and maybe if you've got a mate who's got the exact same car or you want to sell a couple of sets, you might make 3 or 4. A mould made with normal gel coat will produce 5 to 10 copies without the gel coat cracking or deteriorating. It'll handle it quite well. So using tooling gel coat is really unnecessary in the sort of work that we do with car moulding. Fiberglass cloth pulls away from sharp internal corners, and this causes the gel coat to crack and come away along edges like this. The way to overcome it is by using fairing compound or car body filler made running with a little resin to bevel these sharp bends.
The stars tonight, found myself a washing colored light. It felt like spirits had awakened me. This carnival of animals had taken me. They danced around me and they took my hand, whispered, close your eyes and understand. And when I felt the change, it startled me. This carnival of animals is part of me, 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 I took a walk among the stars tonight.
It is commonly thought that car panel moulds need to be made super thick, like twice as much fiberglass as is normally used. But their compound curves stop them twisting out of shape. So I just add extra strips around the edges to make them stronger. That's all you need.
Among the stars tonight, I found myself a Welsh colored light. It felt like spirits had awakened me. This carnival of animals had taken me. They danced around me and they took my hand, whispered, close your eyes and understand. And when I felt the change, it startled me. This carnival of animals is part of me, 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 part of me. I took a walk among the stars tonight. Found myself a Welsh colored light. It felt like spirits had awakened me. This carnival of animals had taken me. They danced around me and they took my hand, whispered, close your eyes and understand. And when I felt the change, it startled me. This carnival